Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is Sunday, November 29th. I hope everyone's had a great Thanksgiving Day. Thursday, of course. Friday, short day of trading, and then the weekend. Quite often people stretch that into a 4-day holiday. So, whatever you did, I hope you had a good one. And yeah, so this is the video where we look at the week that was and then kind of look ahead and see what is coming down the pipe. We've got a full week this week, so let's dive in and see where we're going here. You can see here transports on a daily broke out during the week, now doing a little bit of a pullback, which quite often happens after you get a breakout. We do get a pullback to and check back to the level where we broke out from. And of course, Thursday, Friday, it's going to be hard to judge volumes, or Wednesday and Friday. It's going to be hard to judge volumes because it was a shortened week, and quite often this Thanksgiving Day week is usually have kind of unusually low volume. But you can see on the week we're continuing to break out here on the transports, up 2.5% or more. Decent volume for a shortened week. Stochastics still high, strong, RSI still strong. All indicators that we're probably going to go higher. Again, sort of a daily chart. Let's not really spend too much time on those since it was kind of a weird week. But on the week overall, you can see here we broke out again, 2.2% up on the week on the Dow. Again, breaking out here from these previous highs, so it looks like we are going higher. And again, weak low volume on the week, of course. RSI continuing to move up, stochastics and MACD continuing to go higher. The Qs again, they have broken out. We're not at an all-time high yet, but we'll talk about interest rates and the dollar. But with the interest rates, which seem to be heading lower now, the Qs in the technology sector probably is going to do better than some of the other indexes. So I'd be watching the Qs to go higher here. So this is the daily on the Qs. On the week, again, not at an all-time high because we did hit intraday highs back here and back here, but certainly on the week almost up 3% and looking like it wants to go higher. I think the Qs are probably the place to be if you wanted to be one place in particular. SPY again, not high, but within a breath of it here, 2.33% up on the week. Again, looking pretty strong here on all the indicators. So market still looks strong, still looks like it wants to go higher. IWM, small caps, has had a great overall move. Breaking out here, broke out last couple weeks ago, and we're still moving up. Stochastics moving higher, or RSI moving higher. Stochastics up in the overbought area. It's getting these IWM getting a little bit overbought here. I'm expecting actually we might be uh, getting to the point where we might get a pullback on the IWM. TLT. This is the Treasury, the 20-year Treasury. So when this price goes up, this is the actual value of the Treasury. So when it goes up, the yields go down. You can see here we're putting a bit of a volatile pattern here, and now we're looking like we've put in a higher low on this pullback, and we look like we are going to go higher, which means yields are going to go lower. Here's the 10-year Treasury yield, and you can see here again series of lower highs, and looks like we are heading lower on the Treasuries. Yeah. And on the week, yeah, we're heading, looks like we are going to head lower here. This is the US dollar. This is really, this is a horrible looking chart if you're hoping to be long of it. It's, again, we're in a fairly strong downtrend. We're breaking through some levels of prior support, like here. Certainly here, most recent support levels, we've broken down there. So with this breakdown in the dollar, emerging markets should go higher. Gold should be going higher, but it's not. Seasonally, this is not a great time for gold. and silver. We have to wait till sort of getting into the new year for that. But again, this is commodity prices all priced in US dollars. So as we dollar drops, usually the price of commodities will go up. But could be good for the oil trade. We've had a pretty strong run on oil. Again, I mentioned emerging markets. But there could be a sort of a lack of confidence in the U.S. dollar compared to some of the other currencies. It's kind of an interesting. Let's take a look at it on a weekly, and you can see here we are breaking down here. So where's our next level of support on this? It's probably down in this area, 24.48. Again, stochastics, they all look really bad here. RSI, if you're long, could be heading back down. Yeah, so the dollar not looking very good. Let's take a quick look at the sectors here. The discretionary, you can see here, where it looks like we're breaking out to new highs. Communication, new highs. XLK, again, I think we're breaking out here. So communication, XLK, the technology, all looks pretty good. Taking a pause here with XLI, but we certainly turned around here on energy. You can see how the 9 crossed over the 20, or is that the 20 and the 50? That's 20 and the 50, so the 20 and the 50 crossed here. Energy has been really strong, and sort of my guess is with sort of the tensions rising again in the Middle East with Iran, there may be some fire, if you want to call it that, some more bit of energy here coming up. We had a really strong day Friday with the healthcare sector, and it kind of looks like it's maybe trying to hold this moving average here, and then we may the 20, and so we may end up starting to head up here on the healthcare sector this week. Healthcare actually looking pretty good right now. Energy doing a bit of a pullback here, and I would watch for continued strength, particularly if we have a US dollar that continues to weaken. So let's take a look at some of the stocks I have on watch, some stuff that's come up on scans. This ABUS looks interesting. I believe they have some news, maybe some pending news coming out here. And this is definitely a nice looking chart pattern. You can see here we've had a long period of consolidation, and then we had a breakout, and then, as I mentioned earlier, this check back after the breakout, come back down, test that breakout point, and then goes higher. So it is breaking out here, and it looks pretty good. Stochastics look great. RSI looking good, although it's a little overbought. We're getting up into an area that was prior resistance back here. So we did this big run, pull back, and then had some resistance here before we really sold off. But anyway, kind of interested in that one. I'd be looking for a little bit of a pullback, maybe to 4, and then take an entry. Camping World looks like it's going to be continuing to break out here. I would look to buy it if it closed over 32. This is the EEM. Of course, it's been doing really well, especially with the dollar weakening. It looks like it's going to continue higher. A little bit overbought on both stochastics and the RSI. Maybe if we get a pullback tomorrow, it might be worth an entry. Bitcoin had a monster run here, and this is this trust, GBTC. It's one way to trade Bitcoin if you don't want to actually trade Bitcoin. You can see here we had this huge sell-off Thursday, Friday. Seems to be, Bitcoin really trades technically, so it does seem to be holding this, came back down, held this 20 moving average, and I'm just keeping an eye on it tomorrow. Big volume sell-offs here, and that could be an indication that maybe with this type of a candle, maybe we're getting a reversal here, and people will start jumping back into, I came up twice. People start jumping back into into that one, into GBTC. GDX, as I said, gold, not a great time to be buying gold seasonally, but with the weak dollar, I mean, it should be going up, it shouldn't be going down with a weak dollar. So it's sort of trading in tandem with the US dollar. But you can see here on a Friday, we didn't have much volume, but we had an engulfing candle here on that day. So kind of looking to build a bit of a position here because I think it's gold still has a good run in it. It's just gonna take some time, but we're really oversold here, and this is typically, you can see here, oversold. We get the bounce back, we get really oversold, we do get a bounce back here. So in the stochastics, good indicator when you see this in this area. It's a possible area where we'll see a bounce. So LI, I should say, this is a EV trade. All of these seem to be sort of getting toppy. Neo even seems to be a little bit toppy here. You know, having some, maybe it's going to be chopping sideways here for this week. PPSI had got a nice move on that one, and I'm pretty much out of it right now, but I'll be watching to see if we can hold this $4 level for another move higher. Silver, sort of same as gold, solo, not interested in that one right now. And Square still strong, and of course I think it's been strong partly because of the Bitcoin situation, but also people just seem to, it's one of those stocks that people love. Even on this pullback here, we just got bought right back up. And just taking a look at USO here, as I mentioned, the energy sector has been strong. So obviously been due to the fact that oil has risen like crazy here since this low early November. So we've had a nice run up, really extended. Still expecting a bit of a pullback, even though we have had some weakening in the US dollar. Plus, you know, we've got those tensions rising a bit in the Gulf, but it is definitely extended here. So yeah, getting a little, yeah, it could go higher actually. We'll see what happens next week, especially with the situation in Iran. And lastly, let's take Vietnam. I don't know if anyone caught this, but there was a news item about Foxconn, which is the big Apple producer. They were talking about, I saw an announcement about them moving some of their production facilities to Vietnam from China. So again, this is something I talked about earlier about how some of the people after this virus thing, people realized how dependent the world is on China as a manufacturer, and starting to look at maybe shifting some of that production to other countries. And I know Vietnam could be the beneficiary of that. So this one continuing to look strong. And Workhorse had a nice week last week, although we did get a pullback here latter part of the week there. RSI turning back down, so maybe a little bit of a pause before we head higher. Certainly if it can hold this sort of 2650 level, that'll be good with Workhorse. So everyone, that's it. Looks like we're probably going to start the week off really going higher, although futures are kind of flat. I think actually they've gone green to red. I'm not sure if we've got the Q still in the green. Speaking of that, let's just take a quick look at it. You can see here Dow down right now in the futures market. S&P pretty much flat, little red. Same with the Russell small caps, but the NASDAQ, again, market will do well. This Qs will do well. Technology does well in a lower interest rate environment, which is where we seem to be headed. So Qs still in the green here. And with that, we'll wrap things up here. Hope everyone, again, had a great weekend. We'll, as usual, be kicking things off in the Bear Bull Trading Room. 8:30 pre-market show, and then 9:30 trading the market open. So hopefully we'll see you there. Have a great remainder of your weekend, however much time you have there, and we'll hopefully see you in the morning. Bye for now.